the Smart Variant Con 2018 here in Berlin. I'm here with Henrik Hulgaard, CTO and co-founder from our Event Lead Partner Configit.
Hello.
Thank you for being here with us, and thanks for taking the time.
No problem.
Could you briefly introduce yourself, please, and tell us about your position?
So I'm the CTO of Configit. Configit was a company we started 18 years ago. My background is in engineering and computer science, and have been spending my youth in academia, in trying to analyze hardware and circuits to prove whether they work correctly. So a chip, before you manufacture it, you would like to make sure that it is correct and doesn't have errors. And it turned out that those techniques that we worked with, they worked very well to solve the challenges in configuration. So back in year 2000, we started Configit to basically take those academic techniques and apply them to real-world problems within the configuration space.
So you've been with Configit since the start for 18 years now, you already told us. Why did you actually start a company, and what are milestones along the way?
We found out that it was a lot more fun to try to solve real-world problems instead of these more sort of self-made up academic problems. So we had a few projects at the university where we worked with companies and tried to help them solve challenging problems, and that was really inspiring. So that was one reason we would like to start a company, basically, to use these techniques that we had worked with at the university and apply them for real problems and not just academic problems. And then I think we also were, really would like to create a place where these bright young students of the university could really use the knowledge that they had built up in the university setting, because very often we found that the jobs that they got were not really, you could say, using all the knowledge that they have gained at the university. So having insight into these algorithms and using that for solving real world problems, that was the other reason we would like to create a company.
And we're very proud that you, as a company, are our event lead partner again this year.
We're very happy to be here.
So what makes you come to this conference? Why is it for you important to be a partner here at the Smart Variant Con?
Well, this seems to be, or is, a very important event because it brings together companies that exactly have the type of problems that we build software to solve. So that is a natural place for us to be. And then it's a German event, and Germany is a very important market for us. There's a lot of manufacturing companies in Germany, and those are exactly the type of companies that most directly can use the software solutions that we provide. So I think it's a fantastic place. There are not that many conferences like this one where the focus is on complexity management, configuration, and that type of topics.
What are key challenges in your mind that companies are facing in the area of variant management and configuration?
There are several, but I think one of the key challenges is that you have an engineering and you have sales and marketing, and how you get the rules that are maintained in engineering and the rules that gets created in sales and marketing, how to get that aligned so that there's a common view of this is the offering that we would like to make. So very often companies are very engineering focused. They produce products, they ship them over to sales and marketing, they go out and sell them. Or it's the other way around, but it's getting that collaboration and transparency in the data. That's a big challenge for many companies. There are also challenges when it comes to just within engineering to optimize the offering. So optimize means reduce the internal complexity, reduce the parts, reduce the number of modules that you have, but still maintain the external variance to the market so that the customer still see a broad offering. Keeping that balance is a big challenge.
What would you say are the benefits of implementing a CRM solution?
I think there are many benefits, but certainly to be able to get this transparency allows you to optimize. If you don't have an aligned data set, it doesn't make much sense to optimize. You can optimize on the engineering side, but if that does not link into the sales and marketing, you won't get that. So you could say just the speed of change. How do you get a change that happens in your module, in your engineering? How does that immediately get reflected over to your sales tool or your website or whatever it is? Same goes with pricing and any kind of change where to get that speed increased so that you quickly can do changes and get them automatically reflected. That's one of the benefits you will see.
Do you have some examples of companies that have implemented a CLM solution?
Oh yeah, there are quite a few of our customers that have that as their vision. There are different places in the journey, but if you take a company like Jaguar Land Rover, British Automotive, they implement a CLM solution where they make sure that all the rules goes into one system, and that system will drive their manufacturing, it will drive their ordering portal, it will drive their website, it will drive all information that is needed for forecasting that comes out of that one configuration system.
Configit is actually addressing both the automotive industry and also the industrial machinery segment. So what is the relationship between these two segments when it comes to configuration challenges?
Yeah, they might seem a little different, but they are actually quite similar because both are producing complex machines. So a car, of course, is a very complex machine. You have a lot of choices to produce a car. And similarly, you have, if you look at a complex machine from Heidelberg Druck machine, for example, that's a printing machine. Very complex and very costly if you make mistakes in the configuration. So they are actually more similar than they might appear on the surface.
Products increasingly contain more software. So how does it affect variant management and configuration in your mind?
It used to be that products were sort of, you produce them and then they were in a certain way. But it is getting more and more that the physical hardware is more platform and then you adapt it using software. And cars, for example, they increasingly become a hardware platform where you update the software and improve the car as you go along. And that is a big challenge for these companies to manage the variability of the physical product and then having an ongoing update of the product as time goes on. Because traditionally it's been very much on the point of sale where you had to configure and then you ship the product and you didn't have to think about it. But now you have to be able to upgrade the software and you have to know each product how it was configured. So keeping track of the configurations, the install base as it's called, and use that information to determine how to update the software. That is the challenge that they are struggling with.
How does the introduction of the cloud finally change the way companies work with configuration?
I think the cloud is, as we all know, is coming and we are using it, all of us, to share data. We use Dropbox or Google or whatever to share pictures and files. We see it as a huge opportunity to share configuration data. It can be from a sub-supplier to the company, it can be from the company to resellers and system integrators. But having this platform where you can put your data outside of the organization and have, in a controlled manner, have people access it, that allows you to constantly have an update and sort of a real-time link between the consumer and the producer. So it's a way to avoid having to send Excel files or PDFs or whatever you send and have to update on a slow way. Yeah. So I think that we'll see some very interesting solutions where you can see how quotation tools, for example, can combine product information from many different vendors and produce a common quote where different parts come from different suppliers. That's something that's very difficult to do today.
What are your personal expectations regarding this conference? What do you expect to gain from the exchange with the attendees?
I'm always very interested to hear about real-world problems. So understanding the challenges and what's top of mind of the people who come here and have a daily life working with these challenges, and just understanding that so that we can bring as much as possible into what we do in our software and hopefully help them solve that problem.
Thank you very much for your interesting insights, for your time.
Very nice to be
here. And I hope you're going to have some good networking.
Thanks.